Hello and welcome to my show. My name is Carolyn. I am a creative entrepreneur and retired comedian who loves to talk about the startup and tech world. Today, I want to talk about Maven Clinic, the world's largest virtual clinic for women's and family health. Maven has a wide variety of benefits, but they primarily focus on continuous holistic care during fertility, pregnancy, and parenting. Maven is an absolute game changer when it comes to women's health, and I believe that they just might possibly be going to the moon. Let's rock and roll. We're gonna have some fun today. What? Here's what you need to know. To the moon! To the moon! Okay guys, we're gonna play a fun little game called How Much Sunlight Is There Gonna Be Left to Film This Video? It's already looking a little spooky in here, but we're gonna see if we can make it. Maven is an absolute game changer when it comes to women's health, and I think, just possibly, they're going to the moon. Maven is a virtual clinic for women's and family health that is designed to complement your insurance by providing continuous holistic care during fertility, pregnancy, and parenting. Maven's award-winning programs are designed to reduce costs by engaging in a more proactive approach. They help patients find all of the resources they need at every step of the family building journey. Maven specifically helps families connect with hard-to-find specialists via telehealth sessions. The best part about these sessions is if you need to find a specialist or a doctor to ask them a question, they will find you one who can get on the phone with you within an hour, no matter what time of day. So whether you want to set up a normal appointment or ask an emergency question in the middle of the night, Maven's got your back. Maven provides personalized programs that support every path to parenthood. This includes a whole bunch of different types of resources: egg freezing, fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, pediatrics, adoption, surrogacy, return to work, breast milk shipping. But the point is, Maven is for everybody, whether you're hoping to adopt, find a surrogate, or have a baby yourself. And it's more than just getting on the phone with a local gynecologist. Maven has nutritional specialists, mental health care providers, physical therapists, career coaches, and more. The goal is to make the family building journey as smooth, safe, and as empowering as possible. Maven was also recently recognized by Fast Company as their #1 most innovative healthcare company and has helped more than 10 million women and families to date. Maven Clinic is solving a massive problem. Harder than ever to start a family these days when it comes to juggling work, childcare costs, and quality affordable healthcare. Before the pandemic, 43% of new moms dropped out of the workforce within 52 weeks of going back to work. And out of that group, 75% of women actually wanted to stay. Childcare costs have been soaring for years, with families in the US spending an average of $9,600 per child per year on childcare costs alone. The costs for childcare actually have gone down a little bit during the pandemic. I think this is likely because of more people working from home, people being afraid of COVID, and potentially grandparents stepping in to help out. In addition to women dropping out of the workforce, we'll get there. Plus, the US has had the highest maternal mortality rate in the developed world for several years. And now with the pandemic, things have gotten even worse. According to CBS News, 3 million women left the workforce during the pandemic as of February of 2021. Now, they left for a variety of reasons, whether it was being furloughed, laid off, or needing to stay home to take care of their kids, since the kids are stuck at home during Zoom school. Women working so-called essential jobs were hit particularly hard. It's pretty challenging to supervise your first grader in a Zoom class when you also have to be at work in your nursing home or at a grocery store. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You are more than free to Google if you want to learn more about all of the inequities. Fox had a great video recently. I'm going to link it up here if you want to check it out. Maven's platform is designed to find solutions for many of these problems. They They hope to help decrease maternal mortality and miscarriages by helping women reach hard-to-find specialists sooner rather than later. They help women stay in the workforce by providing them with mental health practitioners, career coaches, and everything they need for transitioning back into the workplace or dealing with postpartum depression. And building and curating a supportive community where women can support each other and attend all sorts of different workshops. And they also find resources for finding pediatricians and other resources for after your baby has arrived. And according to their website, they really seem to know how to deliver. Look at that pregnancy pun! I've got this! I'm so silly. They have a 90% return to work rate, which is nearly double the national average, and 34% of their patients have avoided unnecessary trips to the emergency room, which is a huge cost savings benefits to those patients. This is also a big market with plenty of room to grow for Maven and their competitors. The women's digital healthcare market is expected to rise up to $6.5 billion by 2028, compared to the $2.3 billion that it was valued at in 2020. Not too shabby. And just a few weeks ago, Pivotal Ventures, aka Melinda French Gates's investment and incubator firm, announced that their projections for the care economy are going to surpass $648 billion. This includes elder care and child care, household management, and employer benefits. This makes it $138 billion larger than the US's pharma industry, and it's also larger than the US hotel, car, and social media industries combined, which is absolutely massive. Yeah, just a little bit bigger? Just a little. Okay, let's get back to Maven. Maven Clinic was founded in 2014 by Kate Ryder. A graduate of the University of Michigan and London School of Economics, Ryder actually started her career as a writer for The Economist and an editor for The New Yorker before she pivoted to startups. She eventually pivoted to venture capital and became an early stage investor at Index Ventures in London. There she could see that digital health companies were absolutely blowing up, but she noticed a massive gap and that no one seemed to be covering women's health. And 2 years after that, she started Maven Clinic. All right, let's get into some of the numbers. Maven has raised $92 million in funding from firms like Sequoia and Female Founders Fund, but also from investors like Reese Witherspoon, Natalie Portman, and Mindy Kaling.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
It's a fun crowd. The Mindy Kaling one is surprisingly on brand. You go, Mindy.
Mindy, you will be in charge of hiring the new nurse.
Okay, so just for the record, this responsibility has been given to someone that's got a chocolate fountain in her office.
This is amazing. People love this.
Now, I couldn't find a current valuation for Maven Clinic, mainly because they haven't gone for a funding round and made announcements and stuff like that since September of 2020. So back in September of 2020, they were valued at somewhere between 100 and 500 million, which is quite a range. This also means that they are not a unicorn yet. A unicorn is a company that's valued at $1 billion or more, but I wouldn't be surprised if they reach unicorn status in the next couple of years, and here's why. The pandemic transformed the healthcare industry in a lot of ways, and not just with doctors trying to fight COVID. Telehealth spiked 6,000% during the pandemic, and with pregnant women being potentially at risk for COVID and all sorts of different precautionary measures going on, plus women having to go and have their babies in the hospital alone without any guests, I can only imagine how much more usage Maven got from its customers and how many other of their clients, employers, were interested in working with Maven to help provide their employees with the best possible coverage. Plus, during interviews with Kate Ryder that I found on the internet from last summer, it seems pretty clear that they had a big increase in customers and in different types of customer needs than they had seen before. And in addition to that, I found a few interviews of Kate Ryder from last summer where she indicated that they had had a pretty substantial increase in customers and customer usage in general. So taking into account that 6,000% increase in telehealth usage during the pandemic, and just absolutely everything else, plus the incredible need that people have in this industry, I think it's pretty safe to say that Maven's valuation must be substantially higher than 500 million. My guess, if they're not a unicorn already, that they will be in the next couple of years. It could be the infrastructure isn't there yet, I don't know, but taking a look at all the different pieces of evidence that I could find, I think it's pretty safe to say that Maven should be financially extremely secure right now and is likely going to continue to grow aggressively in the next several years. Okay guys, let's break down that business model. Maven primarily sells its services to employers and health plans in a B2B2C model, but they do have some options for individuals to sign up independently. Individuals can sign up for Maven Clinic independently and pay set fees for all the different specialists. Insurance doesn't cover these fees, however, the fees tend to be less than copays in general, and I took a look at it myself. It seems fairly affordable, especially if you're only going to use it a little bit. However, Maven is really aggressively selling to employers and health plans, and it's extremely easy to see why. It can be hard to keep costs down if you're only working with individuals, but by partnering with employers and health plans, Maven is able to provide top quality service that's completely complementary to all of these patients, all of these employees, while making sure that the health plans or employers pay for it. It's actually really, really smart, and it's really easy to take Maven's benefits and put them right into an employer's benefits plan. It's actually really interesting if you spend time looking at Maven's employers page at how much they highlight the retention levels and engagement levels from employees who have participated in the program, and also how it's a way for employers to help increase equality in the workplace. I mentioned earlier how they had a 90% retention rate, which was double the national average. I mean, that's pretty huge for employers and can make a really big deal at a larger corporation. I mean, put it this way, if you are like one of Maven Clinic's clients, Boston Scientific, who has thousands of employees all around the world, and you can stop 43% of your female employees from leaving the workforce involuntarily, that is a massive return on investment. They're also promoting themselves as being a great way to support diverse employees in the office. They have a large focus on making sure that all of their patients receive the best quality care no matter what, which is incredibly important, especially regarding the massive racial inequities when it comes to healthcare and maternal mortality. And on top of that, they're also advertising themselves as being great for LGBTQ patients and helping them with anything that they need, whether it's surrogacy or adoption or anything like that. And with big name companies like Snapchat, Boston Scientific, Bumble, and BuzzFeed, it really seems like they're making a big impression and have found a really good market. All right, guys, enough with the fun facts. Here's what I think. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be a surprise for anyone, but I think that Maven is going to the moon. I love that Maven is such a great resource for the whole family building process and for all families, no matter who they are. And I think that their business model is a win-win for everybody involved. It's cheap and easy to use for the patients, and it costs some money for the employers, but the return on investment is enormous. Starting a family can be incredibly challenging nowadays, especially because the structures and systems that we have nowadays are completely out of date and have not adapted to modern life. The healthcare industry as a whole has a myriad of problems, which we're not going to get in here today. And on top of that, the work world wasn't really designed for people to get pregnant and leave for a few months. I've already seen a few of my friends leave the workforce entirely to go and raise their families because they didn't feel like they were being accommodated in the workforce. And I've also heard tons and tons of stories about women in my mother's generation and how a lot of them were forced out of the workforce or forced into roles that they didn't really want. But it doesn't have to be this way. And I think Maven could be a great first step at figuring out a new path forward. The community aspect of the program is really appealing. The workshops and lectures that any woman who is on Maven Clinic can access is a great idea. Being able to determine if your baby is just a little bit sick or needs to go to the hospital in the middle of the night by just quickly FaceTiming in a specialist is an incredible lifesaver for so many families and a great way for everyone involved to save money. Additionally, I think Maven is providing a service that millions of families really, really need. Looking through their benefits has gotten me thinking, well, duh, shouldn't that be how it works for everyone? Why is this a new thing? Why doesn't every company benefits plan look like this? I recognize that for now, Maven's product is really only designed for white-collar workers, but if Maven can continue to build the model and expand it and figure out how to expand it at a mass scale, I think it could make a tremendous difference in the industry. In the end, I think Maven has tremendous potential at helping solve some of these massive problems, whether it's the actual healthcare problems of making sure people who need care can get care and can get it quickly and not have to wait weeks to get a hold of a specialist, or simply making the transition from having a baby to going back to work as easy as possible could transform so many lives around the US and potentially the world. I mean, if you can think of how many more women would be able to stay in the work world and could continue to rise the ladder and potentially rise up to leadership positions, we could potentially see increase more women in boardrooms, increase more women CEOs. The more we can do to help women stay at work if they want to, because it's totally valid to, not go to work anymore if what you want to do is raise a family. But having the resources to do just that, make that decision, stay at work if you want to, and continue to rise up the ladder if you want to, has the potential to really transform lives everywhere. To me, Maven seems like a no-brainer and complete game changer. I'm really excited to watch them grow over the next several years and hopefully go to the moon. Thank you guys so much for walking. I am so sorry about the lighting in here. I will eventually get a light. I have been working on that so that I don't only have to film in the middle of the weekends and I can film, in the evenings and not have to worry about looking a little blue. But thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, if you work in HR or you have a friend who works in HR, I would highly recommend sending this video or just sending Maven in general to your favorite HR person in the world. I seriously think that Maven could be a phenomenal fit for a whole lot of companies, or at least help be something that companies can consider when they're looking at their benefits and how to curate their own benefits at their own company. There's a lot of really cool things that they offer that I didn't even cover in this video, so definitely check them out. I think they're really great. And best of luck to all my future new moms out there, especially if you're watching. I wish you the best of luck, and you're gonna rock and roll. Seriously, don't even worry about it. All right, thanks to everybody. Bye.